Coders. Today we will see how to create beautiful value boxes using the bslib R package and the bs4-r package. So value boxes are actually cards with a text, a value, and if you want you can also add an interactive graphics such as this spark line, this bar chart, or you can add easily an icon. So we will see how to fully customize these value boxes, how to customize also the interactive graphics over here, and at the end we will finish with creating also value boxes with the bs4- package. So let's get started directly with this bslib build a box demo application, which you can access at the following URL. So as you can see here in the value box settings, you can change the inputs and whatever you write here, for example, numbers, and the value box will automatically update here. When it's done, you can click on show code and you can simply download the code. So as you can see, you can change the title, the value. You can easily add extra text in a markdown also if you want. And as you can see, it will be shown in the value box. You can change the theme. So this is bootstrap color. So here primary color is blue, but if you go on success, for example, it will be green because this is a default color for success in bootstrap. If you want to use your own custom colors, you can do it also by clicking on this, changing the URL of the colors, and you will get the colors that you want. You can also allow full screen here. So this is quite a nice features of the cards of bslib, which is using the background of the value box function. You can click here on this button to click on expand, and you get extra information about the x-axis here, which you don't see in a smaller value box. So this is pretty nice. And also as the third section here is related to the showcase. So you can have a very simple value box like this, but if you want to add an interactive plot or an icon, you can do it very easily. So you can first choose where to put this showcase. At the bottom, as it's here, as the left center, which is over here, which is a default, or you can also add it at the top right over here. So let's put it back in the left center. For example, on here, we decided to have a plot. We can have a line, a bar, or possibly a box. We will see how you can also fully customize this interactive graphics a bit later on, have also change them, change the colors. You can fully customize them. If you want, you can also, instead of a plot, use an icon. And you have here the list of different icons you can use, and you can choose the one you want. All right, so let's go back here on plot and see also how to customize them. So the first thing you want to do here is to copy this code, and we will see how you can create them directly in RStudio, and we will also have to add the spark lines. So all the code to create the interactive graphics is also shown in the documentation over here. So we will go through this also together. So we are in RStudio now. So if you want to get the code we will see now, you can simply join my newsletter on felixanalytics.com. So the first thing you want to do is to load the necessary libraries, the R packages we will use. So bslib, plotly, HTML tools, bs icon, which is bootstrap icons, shiny, bs4- and HTML widgets. So here we will copy paste the example code that we just created using the demo app. And if we run this line of code, you will see in the viewer your code and the cards appearing. So this is what we did, included our test here for the extra markdown, which is showed over here, but the plots are not showed. So we'll have to do that later. So this layout column is a bslib function to create the layout by column, as the function says. On here, you can simply call the value box function with the title, the value, extra markdown or HTML code to fully customize the content below these two values. You can change the theme. So this is primary. As we saw, you can change it to green with success. The showcase, where we will have to put the code for the plot. And if you want the full screen here, you put it true. If you want to remove it, false. We want to fill, and you can also customize the height of your card. So as mentioned previously, we want to create the interactive graphics now. So the documentation is here at this URL. So let's open this link. So as you can see here on the official bslib app package documentation regarding value boxes, you have all the information to create the value boxes, including using Shiny and this layout column to wrap it differently using bslib. On here, if you go to expandable sparklines, which actually is the name for this mini interactive plots, you have the code to create this sparkline object, which is called here in the showcase, and to create this. So actually what I did is simply I copy paste the code over here, and this is the code. So let's go quickly through it so you know also how you can customize your interactive sparkline. So this is using Plotly, using the economics dataset, which is actually the data that is loaded automatically when you load the Plotly R package. So if you run this first chunk of code, you will see here in the viewer your Plotly code, but you don't see the line because here we specify we wanted it white. But if you want to have it in a different color and you run again this chunk of code, as you can see now it's in blue. We also want to remove the grid and some information about the axis. So we use a layout argument here. On now you don't see anything because everything is either transparent or white, but this is what we want. We want also to remove this mode bar here, so you can call it the display mode bar inside the config function as false, and this code, mode bar will disappear. Finally here, and this is only specifically if you want to use Sparkline in your Quarto document reports, you can use this onRender function with this JavaScript code here. So as explained in the documentation page, this JavaScript is actually equivalent to say, show the x-axis on the chart when it's taller than 200 pixels, otherwise hide it. So there was a little bug when you display it with this x-axis, and this is a code to fix this. We will see also how to do the equivalent with Shiny. All right, so we will run this chunk of code here to have our Sparkline object, and we will again use the value box here, a different example with customized here code to put extra lines if it's useful for you. And as you can see here in the showcase, we have our Sparkline object, which is created, and we have it here at the bottom. Let's see how to do it also with Shiny. So here I'll take again an example from the official documentation of bslib, and you have the URL code over here. So we will create a page fruit, which is a function from bslib. You can customize it, and here as again this layout column wrap with some classes on the width, and we will add the 3 value boxes as examples. So as you can see here in the showcase line, instead of calling our Sparkline object, we will call Plotly output with an ID here, which is actually calling the Sparkline object in the server side. So this is the code from the documentation. Again, for each Sparkline, we have here a different render Plotly calling the Plotly time series function, which is actually the function created over here, which creates a Plotly object. So let's run this chunk of code so you have an idea about what it does. And this is the Shiny application running. And as expected, we have our interactive sparklines with the different information we wanted. And the beauty of Shiny, is like every time the data updates in the server, your value boxes will be updated accordingly. Right now, I want to show you also how to create value boxes, this time with the bs4-r package. So bs4- has different functions to build your packages. It starts with a dashboard page function, and then you can call other functions for the different arguments to build the header, the sidebar, control by, footer, the title, and the body. So this is an example taken once again from the official documentation from bs4- package, and as you can see here, we will create this time the value box in the server side. So this is pretty similar to bslib. You can choose a value, a subtitle, a color, and an icon if you want to. And this value box is simply rendered here on the UI. So let's run this chunk of code and we will see how it looks like with bs4-. So this is the value box with bs4- with the different parameters as we customize them. So now we want to add a sparkline also, which we customize just as we did with bslib. So let's see how to do that now. So once again, I will reuse the code from the official documentation. And as you can see here, it's pretty similar, but this time we use the value box function directly in the UI. And here for the second value box, we will use this time the footer argument to create your interactive sparkline. Once again, using Plotly output. So if you go on the server side here, this time I customize a bit the economics data set with some data wrangling to make it look better. And you can again fully customize your Plotly object. Here, this is the two arguments to customize the tooltip. And you can change this code as you want. And once it's done, you can simply run the UI, the server, and once again, Shiny Apps. And as we wanted, we have our value box with this interactive sparklines with a nice tooltip. So once again, if you want the code, you can just join my newsletter on felixanalytics.com, and I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye-bye.